Welcome to College Boards Conversations. I'm Haydyn Gibson. We have a special episode for you today where we focus on the top 3 finalists for the 2021 Division II Award of Excellence chosen by the National Division II Student Athlete Advisory Committee. 28 institutions and 1 conference were named finalists for this year's Award of Excellence, an accolade recognizing initiatives in the past year that exemplify the Division II philosophy, community engagement, and student athlete leadership. The first finalist in our top 3 is Texas A&M University Commerce for its Make It Important initiative. Joining us today is football student athlete and National Division II SAC Chair, Alex Shiloh. Alex, can you tell me a little bit more about the Make It Important initiative?
Sure thing, and thank you for having me, Haydyn. So given, the social unrest of our country that happened over this past early summer, our student athletes here at our school, we really looked at this and we said, what do we want to do with it? And it kind of started from our football leadership council. We didn't want to make just a post, a tweet, or say anything, kind of joining in with what else was doing. We wanted to see, can we do something that's really action oriented? And we came together and made the Make It Important initiative. We really wanted to highlight things that were going on, not just in our country, but how can we make a difference where we were in our community? And so it kind of started with, what do we want to see first? Well, with election year coming up, we want to make it important for all of our student athletes to get registered to vote. And so that was one of our goals, is getting 100% voter registration on each of our sport teams here at Commerce. We want to make sure that we are not just involved in the national election, but in our local elections, our school elections. We want to really take this time when we saw divisiveness in our country, heated tensions in our country, and say, how can we make a difference where we are? We might not be where those things happen in our country with the George Floyd incident, things happening all around the U.S., but what can we do in Commerce, Texas to make a difference? And so we want to have those tough conversations. And so we've had plenty of conversations with amongst our teammates, talking about the issues going on in our country.
Alex, you mentioned something really important, and that's athletics and student athletes having a voice. And it sounds like you had a lot of support and resources, and people were genuinely listening to you. So how does that feel for you as a student athlete to have that voice and to have that support?
Yeah, it means the world to me, just knowing that we have a community here on campus in Commerce, people that graduated, alumni, friends, fans that are behind us no matter what. Sometimes you can look at things that go on in our world and people like to bring in the other factors that don't really attain to what we do here. We came here to get education and play our sport, but people do care about us as people. And so it makes you feel that you can just be yourself at all times and not just have to be a student or not just have to be an athlete. You can be, I can be Alex Shiloh every day. I don't have to be the football player, the safety, or I don't have to be SAC chair or just an undergrad and graduate student here at the university. I can be Alex Shiloh every day in anything I do. And knowing that our university president, our professors, our athletic administration, our coaches all have our back in this community and alumni, it just makes, this place feel like home, and it just lets you grow to whoever you want to be here.
That's great to hear that you have that support. Like you said, you have that community. I think that's one thing we pride ourselves in Division II is just the sense of community. And it seems like on campus, you were really making a strong difference. And it was great to learn more about the Make It Important initiative. So thank you, Alex, for just taking the time to tell us a little bit more.
Of course. Thank you, Haydyn. Appreciate it.
Now we'll recognize our second finalist in our top 3, Roberts Wesleyan College, for its partnership with the Golisano Children's Hospital. Let's meet basketball student athlete, Amari Lee. Amari, can you tell me a little bit more about your involvement in Roberts Wesleyan's partnership with the Golisano Children's Hospital?
Well, our involvement has included raising the money for those children in the hospital, and that's come with our own competition between each sports teams. We have our own buckets for each team. We had a competition to see who would raise the most money. Including with that, we also had all our proceeds to the basketball games, such as tickets and concessions. All the revenue went towards the hospital. And as well as that, we had a few of our teammates go to visit some of the kids in the hospital. So that was actually a very fun experience. And I was looking forward to doing it again. Unfortunately, COVID happened. So as soon as everything clears up, I would love to go see those children again.
And I'm sure just seeing them and being a part of their lives means so much to them, especially during this difficult time. I know you touched on a little bit about the basketball game that kind of concluded the event. You're a basketball student athlete. Tell me a little bit if that game stood out versus any of the other ones.
Well, it definitely stood out because before the game even started, we had the children come on the court and take pictures with us. And it was just it felt amazing to see the smiles on their faces when they seen us and how happy they were. So even as an athlete, as a man, it pushed me to go harder in that basketball game. So I wanted to win for the children because they were there. We worked so hard for them.
What's it like for you to be able to be a student athlete, but also be so involved in community engagement?
It truly means a lot. I know coming into college, I didn't think I would be involved in such things. But now that I am, I love it and I want to keep going. And it makes me feel kind of like a hero to these kids. I know I'm not a big superstar or big famous person, but knowing I can change their lives or change the, have a good impact in like a few kids' lives, that can have a domino effect to the rest of the world. So, I mean, if you change one person's life or a few people, that can, so I know that I changed a few kids' lives, so I had an impact to this world. So I'm pretty proud of myself and what our school has been doing.
As part of the fundraiser, it was about a month-long fundraiser. You kind of touched on it briefly with talking about the buckets and putting money in the buckets. Can you tell me a little bit more about the fundraiser?
Oh, yes. So we have, of course, I said earlier, we had the buckets and we had the proceeds going to, or from the basketball game going to the Golisano Hospital. And we also had online donations. So if anybody wanted to do it without going to games, actually, there's a website and link in which you can send money to those kids. So we had those two main options.
So tell me a little bit more about, I know you mentioned COVID happened, so you couldn't visit the children in the hospital, but so how did you adjust to COVID happening and still wanting to be involved in community engagement?
Well, like I said, it comes back to the online link. I mean, we want to, even though it's a lot of barriers, we can't physically see the children, we want to still have that impact. So whatever we can do when it's non-contact because of COVID, we want to do.
Absolutely. Amari, thank you so much for all of the insight and kind of background information you provided. It was great getting to learn more about the partnership with the Golisano Children's Hospital.
Thank you so much.
Finally, our third finalist in our top 3 for the 2021 Award of Excellence is Belmont Abbey College. I'm excited to introduce Belmont Abbey's head volleyball coach and SAC advisor, Tony Elyea. Tony, can you tell me a little bit more about the Mr. Crusader Pageant? I know student athletes plan, execute, and organize, so tell us a little bit more.
Absolutely. Every year since 2010, our SAC representatives have handpicked each freshman male contestant. They help them come up with skits, plan the dances, organize, promote, make sure that they're picking students that are going to bring a lot of people to the Wheeler Center for the event and getting their prospective teams involved, because that is how they raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Is each team you're donating for the actual contestant during the event. They come up with the Q&A, the athletic portion, Mr. Athletic, a portion of the event, Mr. Congeniality. They come up with all of it. It's phenomenal to watch it all kind of come together. They do everything. Each year it's just gotten better and better.
It sounds like there's a lot of passion, and that's just amazing to hear, how much student athletes care about one cause and how they can just kind of bring together the whole athletic department. I know you have Avery Wilson, and she's very involved in the pageant. Can you tell me a little bit more about her and what her involvement means to the student athletes?
Absolutely. When Avery was in 4th grade, her older sister Peyton was on the softball team, and our students really heard about her story and gravitated towards it. They did everything from, it started as making t-shirts for Avery and welcoming her into our pageant, and it really started this, kind of revolution throughout the pageant of us identifying with a cause, and it was something that the students could give to and be a part of that was bigger than themselves. And watching her come back year after year, and now this last year to watch Blaze announce that she had beat ALL, and to watch everything that family has gone through and how brave and courageous she has been through the whole process has just been nothing short of a miracle. We're so proud to have her and her whole family be part of our Crusader family and welcoming her back every single year. It's been very, very special.
I have goosebumps over here, so I can only imagine what it's like being there real time and seeing this year after year. As you've mentioned, you've held this event for multiple years. So what is your favorite part about the community engagement event?
Every year that changes. Each year the students are so creative. It's so fun to see what they can come up with. It could be our star basketball player that can sing and doing a piano solo that no one knew he could even sing, or it could be the whole student body around Avery doing line dancing at the end of our event. It could be the whole, standing ovation after an amazing performance or in a lightsaber event. Each year, there's a special moment, kind of a defining moment of Mr. Crusader, and it gets better and better every year. I'm always surprised. The students at Belmont Abbey as a collective whole, we're all about excellence and virtue, and watching the students really embrace this event and be part of the community and the greater common good is amazing to see.
As we mentioned earlier, just passion. It sounds like student athletes have so much passion for this, and every year bringing something new. But Tony, thank you for taking the time to provide a little bit more background about this initiative, and best of luck to the future pageants.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We're so honored to be awarded a finalist, and we accept this award with so much honor and pride on behalf of Avery and her family.
Thank you to the representatives from the division's top 3 finalists for this conversation. On January 15th, during the Division II business session, the 2021 Award of Excellence winner was announced. Congratulations to Roberts Wesleyan College for its first place finish, with Belmont Abbey College earning 2nd place and Texas A&M University Commerce earning 3rd place. Division II enjoys honoring its members each year for conducting events that exemplify student athletes being leaders and giving back within their communities and on campus. Congratulations to each finalist. For College Sports Conversations, I'm Haydyn Gibson.